if you're in our chat, please let us know if you can see our feed and or hear me. We are trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
Oh, oops. Okay, let me see. Oh, wait, are we wired or wireless? No, we're wired.
Yeah, that should be good.
It's over there.
Real tight. It's slowing.
We should be back now.
Okay, I think that did it.
Careful.
Please let us know if you can hear us. See, 23 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Little slow, but not bad. Regard. Line's about right.
All right, let's try this again. Okay, looks like everything's back up.
Yeah.
Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Potomac Curling Club in Laurel, Maryland. It is the finals of the Embassy Row South Korea Rock Spiel. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Steve Kaltenbaugh, and we'll be focusing in on Sheet B today, which is our A event finals. It's Team Dobbs, skipped by Michael Dobbs, and Alan McNeil. Team McNeil, skipped by Alan McNeil. They're just at the first rocks now. J.R. Groves, the lead for Team Dobbs, sending away, I believe that's his second shot.
Yes. Switch.
He's set up already with a very nice corner guard, or with a very nice center guard.
Keep going.
They're looking to draw it around.
Hard. Really hard. Yes, yes, yes. Switch.
And yes, they're just able to get it around.
Sorry, the 4 camera locked up on us. One moment.
So, can we get the...
Back line draw tap. Normal.
This one here? There we go. Yes. Team Dobbs playing the Red Rocks is already, looks like they're biting the top 4. Mike Jones, the lead for Team McNeil with his second shot now. Going to see if they can get around that guard and chip out that shot. They're able to chip it out a little bit, but Dobbs is able to push that yellow rock back to biting the back 12. Red's still sitting 1. However, it is much more exposed here. Dobbs calling for the single sweeper. Trying to make sure this stays online, and it looks like it's just going to disappear on them. They're trying to get to that yellow, but it looks like it's just going to hang out on the wing there. Useful for later, but right now it's going to be just kind of sitting out there. Allen wasting no time calling for the hit. There's a sizable port there. His second, Gordon Bodnar. Experienced curler, he knows what to do. It's taking a while to move off the center line, but here it comes. Will it clear the guard? Yes, it does. And very nice hit. Rolls behind everything, and Dobbs gets it just out of play. So now yellow sitting 1. Dobbs calling for the hit on that yellow shot rock. Mark Carlson with his second shot. They've got the sweep on, and looks like it's a very nice hit. Hit and stick. Red now sitting 2. Those two are wide open, though. Red also has a very nice tight center guard. that Allen can now use to draw around if he so chooses. Looks like he is calling for that draw. Mike Jones and Dan Kennedy, the lead and vice for their Allen's team, following it down, but it looks like they're just going to let it go. Just sneaking around that yellow guard. And it looks like it's settling in nicely. Just top four. Very nice shot there by Gordon.
Heavy draw. Back down.
Mike Sell, pardon me. Mike Sell, the vice for Team Dobbs, now setting up for his first shot. Mike is a lefty, so brings in a couple new angles for Dobbs to play with. Oh, the sweepers are on this quickly. Looks like he might have been a little narrow with his shot. They really want this around the red guard.
Keep going.
And no, it's just going to chip the guard away.
That's fine.
They are able to roll the shooter on. So Red in an interesting position. They're sitting second, third, and fourth. But unfortunately, it's Shot Rock that counts. That Shot Rock is completely exposed, though. Allen calling for just nicking the edge of one of those red rocks for his vice, Dan Kennedy. Dan uses the stick to curl, and he is very, very good with it. It looks like they're going to have to change. They're saying it's a bit heavy. Let's see if it's able to curl all the way over there. And yes, it just does nick a little bit of that red. It is, however, still very wide exposed. Yellow now sitting 2.
Let's do it again. Hit the top over. Just back out. Stay tall.
Dobbs calling for a heavy draw, looking to push one of those yellow stones back.
Same way. Yes. Yes.
Reminder that due to our ambient mics, you will most likely hear things from other sheets, and we'll keep those updated for you as scores come in. Mike is able to just chip out one of those yellow rocks. It is out of the house, but it is still in play. Yellow's still sitting 1. Dan Kennedy looking like that speed looks like a guard or a draw, maybe. Not a whole lot on that. Came out a bit narrow there. They're going to have to try to hold that. And it looks like they're going to plan B, just trying to put this in the rings now. And no, it doesn't quite make it. Sitting actually in front of those red stones out on the left flank. Being joined now by Adam Schechter. Thank you so much for joining us, Adam.
Steve, it's so good to be part of the broadcast after hanging around here all weekend and helping out with some of the preps and trying to help Spencer out as much as I could. And
yeah, big thanks for
all of that.
Not only your volunteership, everyone's volunteer efforts for this weekend to make it a great success. And a big thank you to Spencer Stevens, our Bonspiel coordinator, and really the driving force behind making this as wonderfully Korean as possible.
Yes, and the food was fantastic, and I gotta say, anyone out there, keep an eye out for next year's Embassy Row. I think what has definitely been shown in the last few years is just how much like the food is such a huge part of it, and the authenticity of it. So last year with Steinspiel, the German food was outrageously delicious. This year with South Korea, like I was actually just telling Spencer, there are things that I'm not really the most adventurous eater, but this weekend I said, nah, forget it, I'm going to try everything, and it was absolutely wonderful. And you just saw Michael Dobbs flash with his first, so now Alan's sitting here with Hammer. He's got a lot of opportunities. I think he's going to try and set up, if I'm thinking correctly, I think he's calling for a freeze or something to draw behind.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a freeze on that back red.
Yeah,
just like a corner freeze to outcount and go for 2 here.
Yep. And something about Alan, if you guys know Alan from around the club, you go, wow, look, here he is in the A event final. Well, he got here by his team throwing lights out. Like Alan with his draws has been just as good as his hits.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's really been the key. Like Alan can hit almost anything, but when he's got his draw game going, he's very difficult to beat.
Oh yes.
And
This
right.
looks like it's a little heavy
It is.
and a little wide. Looks like it's gonna flash right through.
Just the second I mentioned his draw game, there he goes. But
Well, it's the finals, you know.
It is.
Sometimes nerves take over.
they do. I gotta say, I talked briefly to Alan before he stepped on the ice. His team was feeling pretty loose. Like they're all just happy to be here. So
Hey, nothing wrong
That's
with
all.
that. They're playing on Sunday.
They
It's a good
are.
day.
I was a little disappointed I was not able to defend our C event championship.
Alas, alas.
Next year, right?
Yep.
All right, so here's Michael Dobbs. He's looking for a straight takeout. Probably try and roll it behind.
It looks like he came out a little wide.
Yes.
Ooh, he's gonna need to move it. Trying for the old directional sweeping. And it looks like they're gonna be okay here.
Just enough.
Yep. Sitting right in front.
Yep.
Red now sitting 4, it looks like.
Yeah, it is.
And forcing Allen to make his straight takeout just to get his 1.
It is a dangerous, dangerous house right now. And one thing with our new rocks here at the club, the old rocks, there's a wider margin where you can hit and it'll stick.
Right.
On
yes.
these rocks, if you're off angle just a little bit, they will spill. So there's a lot of danger in the shot. I think Alan's going to give it plenty of weight,
Oh, yes.
which not as much as I would think. That's about normal weight from Alan as he lets his hammer go.
Looks online, though.
It does. It looks like it will hit.
He's got the
stick.
hit and stick.
One.
And yet, definitely 1 yellow.
Very good. All right, so the first test for Alan is passed for this A event final. First pressure shot in the books. Let's see how Dobbs responds with his hammer in the second end.
After the first end, we've got Team McNeil with 1, Team Dobbs 0 with the hammer.
And, you know, I gotta say this A event final is one of 2 very contrasting styles.
Oh, yes.
Alan's very good at hitting. His team likes to hit. I know him and Dan Kennedy is vice. And Dobbs is very much a pressure, draw, skip. And if you get Michael into more of a hitting game, it's a little more difficult. Like,
Yes, he's easily rattled if he's forced into a hit game.
well, Michael likes to think a lot. He's a very cerebral curler. He's got
Right.
at least 2 or 3 different plans going on at one time. And we played against him yesterday, and he beat us soundly, and very much as a result of him making his shots, and we didn't quite, but the first end we played, it was, we were actually we were more with him the first end, and we made him make a pressure shot, which he did, and that kind of carried him through the game. But yeah, you just keep giving him stuff to think about. That's certainly one way. Looks like he's setting up. Calls for a guard. Looks like that's going
A
pretty
little
late.
too heavy, yeah. It's going to push just past the T line.
Not too terrible.
No. I think if I was paying attention, I believe Alan also called for a guard.
Yes.
Alan was actually my very first skip. And when I was playing lead, he said, all you have to do is throw guards. Throw guards as my lead, and I'm happy. So
Oh, I know. Alan is also a man of many plans.
Oh, yes. These are arguably two of the most strategic skips we have in the club.
Very much so.
Yes, and this looks like a very nice shot from Mike Jones.
It does. It looks like it's going to go in the house, though. Maybe a freeze on the other stone. Or it's just going to sit in the top 8.
No, they're bringing it, and it's going to be a very nice freeze.
That is a very nice freeze.
Just a little knock, maybe a couple inches between those two stones.
Yes. So two interesting things about the way Sheet B has been running at the club. It's been pretty swift. I don't know if anyone out there keeps track of like split times and things like that, but we have been throwing almost 4-second T-line draws on Sheet B, especially that right side as they're coming. And now here's JR with a normal weight takeout.
Looking to get at least one. Will they get 2?
Yep.
Yes, they do. Very nice shot.
And the shooter will stick around, be cross-house. This is really setting up pretty well. And that's something else with our new rocks, is that any degree of separation on our new rocks at the club, and you can start pounding doubles like it's no one's business. If you can,
Oh, yes.
if you can get it just a hair off center, you can definitely take them both out. So
Oh, yes. These rocks much livelier than our old rocks. Much heavier, too.
yes, they're actually regulation weight, so that's always good.
Yes.
Now it looks like Alan's calling for a freeze.
These might be a bit heavy for a freeze, though. I think it's going to push something back instead. Though I don't think he's really going to be that mad at it.
No, the yellow will stick around in the back house, pushes the red out.
Dobbs immediately calling for a draw, basically putting that back
That is the
and
move.
splitting the house again.
That is the move.
That yellow rock, as you see, mostly on the 12, on the back 12. So they don't have to do too much work to be in front, to be out counting it. Dobbs is looking for at least a biter on the 8, though.
Looks like he's got it.
Yeah, weight looks very good here.
Probably a little wide, but
A little wide, but it is biting the 8-foot.
it's a good place for it.
Yes, red now sitting 2 once again.
All right. So Alan again calling for the freeze. A lot of this is him, again, being so strategic. He says, look, all right, if I get the freeze, awesome. If he's a little heavy, I could probably get a punch out. Like, he's got definitely a lot of plans in mind.
Oh yes, plans within plans.
Yes. Some might argue, some might go call for a takeout, just kind of
Keep the house a little cleaner.
keep the house a little clean, make them make takeouts to get to it. I think Gordy's a
Little heavy, yeah, it's going to
and a
move
little
past that red
wide.
rock.
So this is where you get into trouble over here. Now Dobbs will call. Looks like he's calling for.
Seeing if he wants to push that yellow out, but no, he'd rather just guard. He'd
Oh, no.
rather just draw again.
You have hammer. You want to try and draw to the outside a little bit. You're starting to sit 3 in the house with no guards. Alan is in a world of hurt.
Gina, we see your question. The old rocks were, what, about 10 pounds lighter than regulation at the end of it?
Okay, they weren't that light. I think.
Okay.
So a normal curling stone is roughly 44 pounds, I believe. I think some of our rocks were in the 38, 39 category. I mean, we're not talking about like rocks are just going to skip across the lake or anything. They're still plenty heavy, but they're also, I believe our rocks were somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 years old or something.
Oh, right, yes.
And resurfaced and all that kind of stuff. So us having brand new rocks here at the club is fantastic. Looks like
It was a flash on that last rock.
Mark just flashed it through.
So now Dan Kennedy coming in with his first stone.
Yep, this looks like a draw.
Yep. Looks like they're going to look that. They're going to try to make it out count that that rock that is just biting the 8.
And it also looks like we're getting a little bit of that sort of center line effect where the rocks are not quite moving off the center line as much as you think. And
Yes.
so while this is sitting in the 8, it'll give Michael a good opportunity to sort of hit and stick it in the
Yes.
3 in the house. Which isn't terrible for Alan if Michael doesn't quite get the full hit and roll. There's a few other.
I feel with that ice, he's going to have a decent shot to push that red out as well if he hits this too thin.
It's a possibility. Cell is not one for like super upward takeouts.
No.
And he's coming lefty, so he's sort of.
They've got to watch
pushing
this one.
that.
Going away from the center line, they have to make sure that it doesn't fall too hard.
It is moving.
Looks like they've got
Very
it
nice
perfectly.
shot.
Very nice.
Nice shot from Cell. A little separation.
Red now sitting 3, and Allen is saying, I want both of those gone.
Yep.
Looking to hit right in the middle of those two.
Just get it there.
Yep. Dan Kennedy, like Allen, known for his hits.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's got some weight to it. I hope they stop it, because otherwise it's going to hit us on the feet.
Yeah, it could just smash right through.
He's got 1, but not able to get 2, and unfortunately jams on that back yellow. I can't quite tell. I don't believe that's...
It's not counting.
It's not counting, but it is still in play.
It's what we call an ankle bite. An ankle biter. Because all that thing's going to do is just break your ankles if you're in the house.
Pretty much.
All right, so it looks like Cell is going to draw up. Yep, top house draw. Meanwhile, in other action, it looks like the team skipped by Nick Smith is up 4 after one end, 4-0 over Andy Inglis. That's the D event final, or the third place game, if you will.
Well done to them.
Johnson on sheet C is up 1-0 after 1. And it looks like
It's a 2-0 lead for yellow. That
which is Darrow High.
Yes. Over Kempenich.
Yep.
A very nice draw there. Once again, putting in another Red Rock on the rings. Not quite full 8, but pretty close, it looks like.
And what's really genius about this shot is that it gives Allen that temptation to go for the double.
Sure, yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's like, that double is there. I can totally get to it. But it's a very difficult double, and if you've been watching these rocks as they've been going towards us in the warm room and coming down the sheet, trying to curl it off center, it hasn't like quite gotten there. So
yes, it hasn't been moving off the center line nearly as much as it usually does.
And Allen really has to hit this to the left side of the stone as you're looking up the house. And so if he's wide, he may clip that back one and jam on it, maybe sit sort of biting 12, but
Even so, it wouldn't be a counter.
No.
Red would still be sitting 3.
so you're really giving Dobbs a shot at 4.
And I think with
maybe
the amount
5%.
and I think with the amount of speed that he's going to have to hit this with, there's no way he's sticking around. Here's Allen with his first shot.
That is a torpedo speed takeout.
I think it's moving a little too much, though. I
It
think
looks
they're-
pretty good, actually.
He's got 1, he's got 2, and it looks like he's going to jam again.
Oh, a little unfortunate. That does look like a
Yes.
biter back there.
Mike Sell able to get that Yellowstone out, and yes, it looks like that is just going to bite on the rings. That back red. Red now sitting 2, and it looks like they're going to basically put one of those back, calling for a draw to the open side. So a nice double to cut Dobbs down, but still a dangerous end for Allen.
That is correct. That was, sometimes it's really unfortunate when those stones that are literally 2 millimeters away from being completely out of play come back to haunt you
Yeah.
with those rolls. So Michael's just sort of staring at it as
It's
On its
hanging
way.
on that center line for a while.
it is.
It also looks a little heavier than he'd like.
It also does that as well.
I think this... No, it's easing up
It's going to sit back.
in the back of the house,
Well.
back towards that other biter. So it will sit, but it's going to give Allen another chance for a double.
Well, he could do that. He could also...
He could also sit in front of those.
That's
and-
not a terrible play either. He's definitely giving it... It looks more like a freeze.
Yeah. if he's able to freeze in front of those or at least sit touching the 8, it's going to make Dobbs, I mean, basically draw for 1. I mean, he could make a very tough shot and try for a big end.
Yes.
But it is only the second end. You don't want to do anything crazy.
You don't, and you're not going to get both of them, and that would give Dobbs 3. So a draw / freeze here is a very good call.
Now the question is, again, has Allen found his hit weight?
Hit weight he's got. Let's
Or
see if he
Allen
gets that
has he found his draw weight?
Basically anything between anything in that 8 foot above those rocks would be fantastic, because his last shot is away. In the old days we called this the gavel, not quite the hammer.
Ha ha ha.
It's got to move a little bit, right off center.
Here it comes.
It's coming a little bit, but I think it's going to.
It's moving, but it's got to keep moving.
Oh,
and
this is looking really good, actually.
Oh, yeah.
This is a
worked
great
out
shot.
really nicely.
Wow.
Just pushing that red rock back, and it is still in play, but out of the rings. Very nice shot. It's going to be tough for them to chip that out, and even if they do, it'll be really tough to stick around for 3.
You know, so that's a mark of how well Allen has curled this whole spiel, is that we needed to pull that big shot out. He's gotten it. And that there is really clutch. Like, this end could have easily gotten away from him. And we're, not too long ago, a few rocks ago, we're saying, look, Dobbs could get 4 or 5 here, and now he's going to really struggle to get 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really can't chip it out. You could chip it out. It's just
You could chip it out
it's not
going
worth it.
outside
You're
in.
going to lose your
but-
shooter and you get 2.
Yeah.
So, oh, he's throwing bumper up, so he's going to go for it.
It looks like he's going to try to push that to the outside.
That would
and
be the play.
Yeah. Maybe he gets lucky and sticks around for 3, but I think he's more playing for 2 here. Looks like he's got a little bit of the weight.
Okay, now it's actually moving a lot. He is frantically waving his arms, and it is curling quite a bit. It's going to hit the yellow.
It's going to jam, and
And
looks
2.
like it will be 2 red.
So, not terrible for Allen. A good end for Michael to make sure he gets his deuce with the hammer. Back and forth game here. So now Dobbs in the lead 2-1 after 2 ends. I gotta think if you're Allen, you're happy with the result.
Oh yes, that
They're
like you
only
said,
giving up
that
2.
that end absolutely could have gotten away from him, and in the end, 2 not so bad. Here's JR with the first rock of the 3rd end. Looking for just a nice center guard.
All the way.
Came out a bit narrow, but they're sweeping and holding the line nicely.
Have to give you guys some updates on the other sheets. Not too much to post.
Looks
yet.
like on sheet C, red. You said that was Johnson, yes? Johnson took 2, stole 2 in the 2nd end. Now leads 3-0. Very nice center guard there. I believe we are still waiting on scores from the other matches for the 2nd end.
Yeah, they haven't finished their 2nd end, so we'll let them finish. So over on sheet A, it looks looking pretty good for Nick Smith's team, who's already got a 4-0 lead, and it looks like he could be stealing quite a bit.
Yes, he's already got 3 rocks in the house.
He's got 3 in the house, and we're on Andy Ingles' first stone, so his first skip rock. He's got hammer. Meanwhile, a very serviceable corner guard. And here's JR. Again, a pretty basic play. Without hammer, we're going to throw a guard, and we're going to draw around it.
Yep. Nice standard opening gambit.
Yes, yes. Switch, you're good. Promote, yep, all the way.
Looks like you should have plenty of room around that guard.
Yep.
Looking to hold that line though. It doesn't look like it's gonna have enough juice though.
No, it looks like it'll just.
It'll be a corner
Hang out.
guard, and now Allen doesn't have to worry about throwing the corner guard for the second lead rock.
Oh, and so he's going to go draw behind the top 8. Very good call with Hammer.
If it plays to a promote, that's okay.
As you may have heard on the ambient mics, it could bump in and promote. That's also fine.
Yep. As we said, Allen, one of our more strategic skips, always looking to have a plan B through H in his pocket.
All the way, bud. Not moving, it's gonna hang out here.
That is definitely hanging out into the muck. It's going to get around everything. Will it stick around? Oh, Dobbs just giving it a courtesy wipe with his broom. Hangs just behind the tee.
All right, so not quite. And we're just peeking out there. Looks like there's some good hit and roll territory for Mark. It should be pointed out that Mark Halson's back. So Michael's playing with his, I guess, original team that he won the B event at the Dykes a few years ago.
Oh, very nice.
Again, Michael and I have quite a rivalry. Epic B event semifinal match.
I like Mark's shoes. It looks like he's curling in orange Converse All-Stars.
He's got the
Green
Yeah.
eggs and ham, aren't they?
well, you know, I think it's what Asham, one of the curling shoe companies. If you send them a shoe, they'll put a slider on it.
As I recall, that's what he did. Yeah, he has the green egg and ham Converse, and he sent them into, had them made into curling shoes. It's
Very
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, while we were admiring the footwear, it looks like McNeil will now try and draw another one into the house, more towards the top of the forefoot. Here's Gordy. What I find really interesting about our sheets now, the way that our ice is going, is that there is a very delicate fine line from when rocks are just going to hang out to the outside, as this one is,
Yes.
and it'll hook, like Captain Hook. Like,
Yes, it will, once it hits that very specific spot, it will just move. And
do you have a good indication about maybe about 10 feet off the hog? You're going to know whether or not that thing's going to really swing.
yes, and really it's the team that figures out that move first that's really going to have a massive advantage. Looks like Red is going to be going after that that Yellowstone that's hanging out on the outside, and they're able to hit but not roll in. Looks like they were looking more for a hit and roll.
They were. That's close.
So it's close, and now Allen calling for the hit and roll himself.
Yep.
Yield pop and flop.
He just wants a bumper weight on this.
Trying to hit that on the inside and get behind their guards.
Not a ton of broom, but these hits generally will flatten out, especially if you're like a righty throwing an intern at it.
It looks like it's pushing outside.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah, this may be too far outside.
It's
and
going to flash.
yep, that's a tough break for Gordy. So an opportunity for Dobbs here. Yellowstone, I believe yellow is still shot. What do you say, Adam? It's close.
It's close. Again, our overhead cameras are not quite centered, so you can't exactly tell given our overheads. I think it may be red, but I could be wrong.
It's tough call. It looks like Dobbs is going to be calling for a draw here for Mike.
Yeah, I think that's a good play here.
Yeah, there's a lot of guards available. Looks like they need to keep that around the yellow guard, though.
Yes. Now, here's the thing, right? So Mike Sell is a lefty, as I am. And sometimes, like, you really get in your head to try and make sure that you're not throwing it narrow. Like, you see all those guards in front, and Sell kept it outside and a little too heavy, so it went through. But there is something magical about being a lefty curler, and then there's some certain drawbacks.
It brings a new perspective, you might say.
Well, a lot of it is like is brooming, and obviously Michael has played with Sell for many years, so he knows where to broom him. But sometimes, especially when you're throwing a lefty out turn, which is what he was doing, it's going to stay outside. That was a nose hit for Dan.
That's a very solid hit. Just sticks around, and now we don't have to worry about who is shot rock.
Correct. Yellow is currently sitting 2.
Yep.
Again, with Hammer, like you like this. You like this play. You don't really like the fact that the middle is all clogged up in the front. All right, so here's Sal. And it looks like it's a nice control weight.
They're able
Nose
to,
hit?
yep, just get to the nose. Yellow's still definitely won, though, and they're just having a dickens of a time getting to it. They're trying to get that hit and roll into the 4, even full 8, and so far it's been tough to get to the inside of whatever stone either team is hitting.
I'm starting to think that a lot of these shoots, especially towards the outside to the, from the 8 or out, that these rocks are just falling out. Ooh. He almost doubled his own there, Dan, but
I think Alan's breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief there.
yeah, not terrible. I mean, you'd like to keep your rock around. You're now basically giving Michael an open invitation to draw. I gotta say, I don't really. He's gonna probably do a straight draw. He's aiming for the top of the 8, I would say.
Yes.
And I got something. Actually, if he had the line, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a little T-line bump tap on his center.
Oh yeah,
guard.
absolutely. I think a promote would be a very nice play if he had a good idea of the weight. But they've been throwing this line the entire end, so maybe they feel a little more comfortable with it.
Maybe they've been throwing mostly takeouts though.
That's true.
That is it's quite a lot of ice for what you want.
Yes, they want to make sure they're around that yellow guard. The absolute last thing you want to do is accidentally push that yellow guard in.
Right, so Dobbs' shot is away.
Doesn't look like he's coming out with a ton of weight.
No. I will say, what makes Dobbs very entertaining to watch is just to kind of watch his movements, like as he's just standing there watching the stone, just like waving his arms and all of that.
There's a lot of Carlton Fisk going on.
There is.
And they're able to get it just onto the house, but Yellow's still sitting 1. At this point, it looks like the promote may be his only option, and it looks like Allen wants to take that away. He's also talking about a promote of his own, pushing that yellow guard up, but I think that one's pretty dangerous. He'd have to hit it just right to avoid both of those red rocks that are already behind it.
There is plenty of danger in that shot.
Looks like instead he's going to be going for a draw on the other side.
This is also dangerous.
That hasn't really been played all end.
Hence the danger.
The question is the devil you know or the devil you don't.
Now, of course, they curled the first end on that, so perhaps he's guesstimating based on his first end lines. All right, meanwhile, in some of our other action, it looks like Yellow, Nick Smith's team over in the D event. Yeah, they stole 3, so they're up 7-0 over the team of Andy Eagles. This is Andy's Dykes team, so they're getting a good workout this Bonspiel. They've had some success. So,
but they've got a bit of a road ahead of them if they want to come back in this one.
They're over on sheet A.
I'd rather have it stick out here something.
And sheet D, I don't think they're done with the second end. Or, no,
They
they're
just
done
have
with the
both.
second end. They just haven't hung it yet.
They have not.
So we'll let you know what's going on there as it comes in.
Make 'em
Bad
wide.
license. All right, so Allen throws, and being a stick curler, he's very aware of his. I think he might be more aware of his weight than a lot of us,
Yes.
because sometimes you don't even know if you have some positive release and stuff. But that is around the guard. That is
Around everything, but I think it might be a little too much. No, it's going to stick around, I think, depending on how much cell works.
not going to be a second counter, I don't think.
No, that the red rock just to the right of the center line, as you're looking at it from our vantage point, that's going to be second shot.
That is. All right, so let's see what Dobbs can do. It looks like he's going to try that same line again and try and get some sort of draw to be full 8 and be shot.
Yeah, and I think he's certainly willing for the angle raise if he comes out just so.
It's not a bad play either.
But you never want to plan for the angle raise. That's a tough shot.
It is.
He looks like it's pretty narrow.
And it looks like that angle raise might come into play now. It's got the weight for it. And it will clip that stone. And
Oh,
sit.
but will it stick around?
It'll stick.
Dan working on it, but yes, it is just going to sit full 8. There's a fair amount of protection behind it, or in front of it. Very nice shot.
Very nice. Certainly very nice plan B for Dobbs.
Red now sitting 1.
Those are, when you've got hammer, those are a little bit of a dagger for you.
Yes.
When
You
you
got-
know when you know that your opponent is offline, you know that he didn't quite throw the shot he wanted, but he gets a result which is either just as good or even better than the original plan.
It really deflates you.
It does, but
But at the same time, you still have got the hammer. You've got one more opportunity to ruin his plans.
that is correct.
So it looks like they're going to be going for, I'd say, a heavy draw, try to push that out.
Looks like a standard draw. Looks like he's trying to just use.
Yeah, that's a lot of
that stone.
that'd be a lot of ice for a heavy draw.
That would be definitely a lot of ice for anything more than what he's calling, which is about top 4, back 4 weight. Let's see what Allen does with his hammer. Look at,
Sweeper's on it
they
immediately.
are. It looked a little inside.
Yes, it
is,
does.
It's hooking. The weight looks there.
Weight looks there, but they've got to stay on it to make sure they're around. And they will be around the guards.
Here it comes. Around the guard.
And will it get around? It looks like he's just going to tap that red stone and push behind it.
No.
So red's still stealing 1, it looks like.
It looks that way.
Yep. Very nice effort, very close try. But Dobbs with a fantastic last shot is going to steal 1 this end. So after 3 ends, Team Dobbs with the Red Rocks is up 3-1 on Team McNeil.
Speaking of after 3, Johnson has posted up. Looks like they stole another point in the 3rd, so they are up 4-0 against the team of Travis Hamilton.
So our dear friends from Curling Club of Virginia.
Yes, but they're also joined with Katie Kovacs, Sam Sparks.
Yes.
Company, so.
Oh, I can't hurt it.
JR center guard looks okay.
Yeah, JR has been pretty solid on his center guard so far. Quick update on sheet D. Looks like Gilad Kempenich took 1 in the second end, now down 2-1. Look at that right?
Looks correct.
All right.
There's a nice messy house over there on sheet D.
Oh, goodness,
As they're
yes.
playing in 3rd. There's a lot of options. It's interesting is that Gilad is skipping that team, and Henrique, his father, is vicing. So there's been a lot of back and forth. We played them on Friday, and we're victorious. And you know, it's an interesting dynamic. Enrique is also, you know, plays different positions here and skips and all that kind of stuff. So working pretty well. I gotta say, it's nice to see that team make the run that they did. You know, there was a few shots when we beat them, and it wasn't always because we were better. There were just a few crazy things here and there, and so Gilad to basically power back through.
Yeah, that's
really,
curling.
and trudge through that C event. Any Bonspiel is a testament just to make it to the finals.
Oh, yes. It was a very nice first shot by Mike Jones, getting a nice draw behind. Looks like there's still a little bit of room there, and JR is going to try to get to that.
Yeah, he's got about backline weight shot.
Yep. It was a lot of action past the hog line, but not enough to really get a lot of that. So yellow now sitting darn near on the button. It's still pretty exposed though. They're able to push it away from that guard.
And then as a skip, there's a lot of interesting things you can do. You're like, your shot rock, it ain't protected. They have one in the house. You know, if you leave it exposed, Dobbs going to go after it. So
Yeah,
you
Allen calling
gotta
again for
try
a guard.
and protect it. You got to try and protect it, but then at the same time, you're kind of clogging up that center line, which is not really what you want to do with it.
Right.
But at club level, at our level of curling, to just go and be able to protect your stones and really make the other team work to try and get it out is a good plan. And right now, that overcurled a bit.
Yeah, there's definitely room for Dobbs and his team to chip that out.
Yep. Looks like that's what he's going to call for. Now, he could.
He's looking for backline weight again.
Yeah. Now, what he's probably asking is he's probably having it to try and go around that guard.
And just,
Stick.
yeah, just chip it back.
I think it's trying to get to nose. Which with our new stones is way possible. That looked a little narrow. It is really
Yeah, it's
hooking
moving.
right out of the hand.
They're going to have to work on that hard.
They are, but it looks like it's holding.
They're holding, yeah, they're holding nicely. Mike Sell doing a very nice job of that.
Again, you may notice Mike Sell is the only one.
Oh, just.
Quite tips it.
And Allen's looking to push that all the way back and out.
Able to do.
Yep. Oh, that is pretty indicative of a really nice weight.
The weight was great. The weight was great for that shot. It just drifted. So Gordy's got his second shot.
Looks like they're pretty close to what they were looking for.
They want a guard. Allen's really happy with the way this is curling up. And he should be.
Yeah.
That is right
It's over.
off.
It's curling a lot at the end, but it's not over curling nearly as much as the other one. It's very nice protection.
Yep. So now we're going to go for a run back, perhaps run back double here. I was mentioning, let's see what Mark does here.
Mark coming out with a good amount of weight, looking for control.
So the release is a little bit dumped. He's got Mike Sell really trying and directionally sweep it away. And it will.
He's got one.
He's got them both. That's a
Oh,
great
very
shot.
nice. Exactly what they needed.
And that's what I was mentioning before. I was talking around, and there's, I think the attention to the ice prep this year and our new stones has really led to a lot of creativity and shot making. And stuff that last year or last few seasons you couldn't do is now very, very possible. So.
Yes. Allen calling in for a draw. Just looking to get around all of that mess on the center line. It looks a bit heavy, though.
Yeah, it does look a bit heavy.
They are able to get around the guards, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like Dobbs is going to let that stick around.
Nope.
Nope, it is gone.
The draw would have been good there. Meanwhile, as Cell is kind of contemplating in the third end.
And it looks like they're going to be going for that draw as well.
Yeah, Andy Inglis got a point in the third, so they are now down 7-1.
The comeback begins.
Back begins.
Andy is a very solid skip, and during the big spiel, one of our opening spiel this year, the team I skipped had a, quite frankly, ridiculous game against Andy. I think the final score was 10-9. He just pipped us at the end, but Andy is good at taking multiple points, so anything is possible. Unfortunately, another flash here for Dobbs.
It seems like the left side as we're looking at it, side of the sheet is
pretty slick,
really,
yeah.
really slick.
It looks like for Dan, they want to call the hit and roll here.
I would do that.
Yeah, if your vice is good at hitting, you have a hit open, might as well.
And you've got, again, it's kind of like locking. I don't think it's a hit though.
No, there wasn't nearly as much weight as we
That's
were
a
expecting.
draw. I looked at where the broom was, and I was like, that would be good for hit.
But it's still slick,
that
and
is
Dobbs is
pretty
going to
good.
work to get that out.
That's a good point.
It's definitely behind. Will it stick around? It's close, and no, it does not. That's a tough break. It's interesting. Usually, that sort of shot rock hanging out there would be great to just chase, but instead, each team continues to try for the draw, and neither team is having a lot of success right now.
Well, yeah. So Dobbs really trying to like put pressure on, get one behind. I mean, if you're able to get anything in the top of the above tee, that mess in front.
Yeah, so this looks like it's going to be light. Having trouble even getting it over the hog line.
Now, this also, given that you're going to get a guard on that left side, a little more.
A little bit more.
If that guard was a little bit more over to the left, it makes a hit and roll much more tempting because now you have another guard on that side.
Yes, unfortunately, it had a lot of late action there.
So.
Sounds like Allen's giving Dan just a little bit more ice, and they're going to try for that draw again.
It's a good play. Dan just missed it with his first rock, so if he can dial it down just a hair.
This definitely looks lighter than the last one.
It does, but it is breaking.
It is breaking. They have to be careful about it.
It's breaking pretty good, actually.
But I think it's going to just slide around the red guard and sliding around the yellow guard.
This looks very nice.
Oh, yes. That is a Skip's favorite shot right there. It's still a little open.
It's a little peaking.
But at the same time, you know, you can't be mad at that.
Well, also, given the angle on that, you're not going to see much from Dobbs' hack on that.
Oh, yeah.
The way that those guards are angled up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this would be one of those times where you kind of wish it was one shot earlier, because Mike Sell, as a lefty, would definitely have an easier shot at this.
Speaking as a lefty, I completely agree. If I was in there, I'd be like, yep, I could totally just poke that out, a little bumper weight, poke roll, and make everybody miserable on the other team.
Yes, but as a righty going kind of across your body,
You are.
doing the intern, it's a tough shot.
Now, a shot that is there, which looks the way it's lined up, is a distinct possibility. You know, a good firm hack weight, you can get it around and hit and roll and knock it out. I think he's just calling it freezing.
Yeah, that's too much ice for a hack weight hit, I think.
I would agree. It looks like about backline weight at least. Dobbs is already waving it off.
Yeah, he's saying nobody touch this.
He's like, don't touch it. It is on the outside.
Will it move and chip?
It is not.
No.
It looks like
he's going to chip his own instead. And, oh, that's close. Yellow is still sitting shot, but now it's going to make Allen think about it.
Well, now you go. What do you
Draw
do?
up top 12, it looks like.
You can do
try to
that
protect your one.
protect it.
And I think that's the best move here. Just try to make it as impenetrable as possible,
Well,
because there's no way you can get to it from the center line.
but again, like I'm talking about with the way that these rocks are hooking, if Allen even did like a backline little weight, you could chip that yellow into the red.
That's true.
And if you nosed your yellow, it would make it really difficult for Dobbs to try and draw around it.
That's true.
And it looks like Mike Jones is telling Allen that he can see just a little of it. It is very, like, with that amount of protection, with those kind of guards up front, it's very tempting to go after it. Try and get yourself to sit two. Because if Allen's able to do that, you got to think, well, what does Dobbs really have? You can try to draw to the other side, which is what Allen's actually looking at right now.
Yeah, and
That's one possibility.
And if he draws to the other side, it's basically I mean, he'd need a full 4 draw on ice that has not been touched all end.
That is correct.
And it looks like
That's what
Allen has
Allen's trying
changed
to
his
do?
mind.
Well,
It's not a bad play. I mean,
it's not a bad play because Michael doesn't exactly have a very good draw line on that side.
no.
Like, he's, you know, and now you can't really get that yellow because if you go after it, if Michael goes after it with his last shot, the best you're going to do is just have it jam. There's not really a good place to slash anything.
No.
So Allen is actually making it, like, this is a good call. Because even if you leave it up, like, there's a lot of ways that this rock could be useful for him with his hammer.
Yes.
Whereas trying to hit his own or doing something like that, there's a lot of room for some bad possibilities. And Allen is, you know, as much as he has a lot of plans, most of the times he's pretty conservative about his calls. He doesn't
This
always
looks
get
like it's moving
super good.
quite a bit.
It is, and it's heavy.
It is heavy, but it is also getting around everything.
It's
Will
gotta
Mike
stop.
keep
It's
it
gotta
around?
Stop.
It's moving past, getting into the back 12. So it looks like, yeah, Dobbs was saying Allen had the right line. It's just a matter of a little bit more weight, or a little bit less weight.
And that is always the danger of trying a new line first. The other skip's got a view of it, and it's kind of like in golf. Like if your ball is behind another on the green, and you let your other guy, you know, the guy in front of it goes first, like
Do you
got a similar
immediately try to
line.
follow him down,
yeah,
or?
I think you follow it down.
Oh yeah, there's no question in this particular case. Just a hair less weight.
Yeah. The ice was good though.
Yeah, the ice was spot on, I'd say. They did a little bit of sweeping towards the end of it, right?
A little bit. No. Michael looked like his release flipped outward a little bit.
Yes.
It's a little wide, and it's got to move.
It's moving quite a bit. They've got to hold us. And, oh, he looks light. Oh,
it's
no,
light,
no,
though.
no.
It's gliding.
They're working hard at it now.
This
Will they
looking
have
pretty
enough?
good.
They've got it into the 4, and ooh, it's
it's
close,
still
but
yellow.
I would say it's still yellow.
But what that actually has done, that has really made it almost impossible for Allen to get 2 here. Because even if he's able to nudge that yellow, his shooter is not going to be second shot.
Is there any way to go after that red that was just thrown? I mean, you'd have to have a perfect shot for a double. And even so, I think you'd still spill out that yellow in the back and jam on it.
I don't think the way that has to curl, I don't think it's there. I would not do that at all. The only shot Allen has is to try and get, as Dan is pointing out, to try and get to the inside of his rock, but not too inside.
That's no matter what, it's going to be a really, really tough shot.
That's a tough shot. And then you want, the one that's already in the 4 foot just to like nose that red one in the back 4 and have his shooter flop over and bite button. But
Yeah. Or, I think they're still trying to figure out if they want to deal with that, or it looks like they're coming out a little bit wider than they did last time. So they may be trying to push that red, what we believe is second stone out.
no, what Allen is
No.
doing is throwing missile at it because it was just peeking, and he just threw it away. He decided he wasn't going to mess with it.
In the end, that's probably a good move.
It's probably a wise move. You gotta play small ball sometimes. Like there's nothing terrible about that. You're down 1, minus the hammer, but.
So after 4 ends, we're now looking at Dobbs 3, McNeil 2. Dobbs getting the hammer back.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry, we had a little bit of a spill here. That's my bad.
We need some paper towels.
Party foul.
It's okay, it's just water.
Let's change things up.
Well, could have been worse. Could have been not water. All right, let's see. In other action, looks like Kempenich has tied up the score after 3, so that's tied at 2 over in the C event final.
And he's also playing with Gilad is Wilson Coe.
Yep.
And Wilson is my second on my Thursday league team, and he's turning into a really, really nice second. I'm bringing him to Dykes this year,
Oh,
and
very good.
I'm really excited. I'm bringing my entire team to Dykes, actually.
Your whole team to the
Yeah,
Dykes. I hope you're bringing a whole team to Dykes.
Yeah, Jan Gorosky and Pete Van Buren as well. I'm really excited.
So you're, what, at year 4?
I'm a year 4, yes.
So you got 2 more, buddy.
Yep, and next year
Enjoy it.
Potomac.
Next year is here. Is it really here next year?
It is, yeah.
All right.
So
Now, we were saying, look, we were saying yesterday, because Andy Inglis, his team's coming, and it's his first Dykes. You just got to make sure that the boat race crop is strong.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay,
No doubt.
like we were talking yesterday with Andy about making sure he's training for boat races.
Oh, yes.
That is critical.
And that's one of the nice things about having an entire team that is basically first-timers. My entire team, except for me, are first-timers.
Yep.
And, Gian and Wilson are both very, very competitive. So I've definitely got them training. And Peter is, while less competitive, he's very, he's great at motivating.
Okay. I think that's a good play. Again, it's like boat races essentially at the Dykes is like it's like a war of attrition. So the more soldiers we can throw into the battlefield,
Sure, yeah.
to get their boats across, the higher the chances that we're going to go take home the trophy once again.
Exactly.
Proudly held by like Kyle Buckles and Curtis Brooks. Like we've had
we're
some
on
good boat race success.
We're on a 6-year winning streak, something along those lines?
Yeah, I heard there was some malarkey. They couldn't determine a winner last year for some reason.
Oh.
I wasn't at the Dykes last year, so I wouldn't know. But
I was at the Dykes. Unfortunately, my team was on the ice, so
missed the boat
yes.
races.
But we didn't have anyone eligible on our team anyway. So.
Yeah. Well,
Meanwhile,
meanwhile, in this game, looks like we're on second stones. And it looks like Allen's going to be sitting here with 2 in the house after this takeout.
yep, that Yellowstone is going to be fairly exposed, though, that yellow shot rock.
That's fine. At this point, it's kind of standard strategy. We're going to go hit and roll.
Mark Carlson coming down now. This has plenty of weight.
Yeah,
It's moving quite a bit, though.
it is really hooking at the end.
They are able to get that yellow out, but it looks like
That red's
Allen
out.
is, yes, able to push that red out of the rings, but still in play. As you said, an ankle biter. That's the sort of rock that just basically makes everyone angry towards the end.
We also call them backbiters. A few people have joked that we also call them the Marv Albans.
Now, more money. If you swing a little deep, that's okay. But I'll guard over here, guard
Again, but that you know, without hammer, that's actually sets up pretty good for Allen, because now he can try and get some cross-house action.
inside, I don't want it.
If Gordy can put one into the circles.
How deep?
Apologize, cameras are back.
This looks a
It's
well.
like-
It was starting heavy.
but it will.
Let's see if
Hold
Dobbs is
on.
able to push it out, and yes.
It is out. But not out of play.
Hit and roll, control. T to back four. Just that much.
Those are the sort of rocks that, 5 stones down the end, they could actually mean something if there's a jam. But right now, the end is pretty wide open. Ooh, that one's moving quickly out of Mark's hand.
It is. But it looks like it's flattening out enough.
It's a hit, and just missing the jam. See what I mean?
That's the other part. Little rocks hang out in the back of the house or just off the house. They just never seem to go away. No matter how many takeouts you throw. Was it raspberry jam? Everyone knows I hate raspberry jam. There's only one man who dares use raspberry jam. All right, so Dan's gonna go and try and take it out.
His first shot, and this is moving quite a bit off the center line. They've got to hold it.
They do have to hold it. They are
And-
working, and I think it's passed.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
It's about
Dan not very happy with
Wait.
that one.
Kind of get in between weights there. Dan throws at least bumper weight at it, and that's going to go and work out okay for him.
The line's a little tricky here. That's the problem. Is it cut so hard? Yeah. So I don't know how to get here.
So now with Dobbs' hammer,
That's my issue.
would you look to split the house here,
Well,
or try to protect that one?
You definitely want it. Yeah, totally my mistake. I thought Allen would hammer this in for some reason. If you're Dobbs, this is actually very nice because, like I said before, the same thing just applied. I kind of forgot that it was Dobbs that had hammer in his hand. Same rules apply. You have a wide open sheet. You got one in. Now you want to get a second in. And then even if Allen and Dobbs trades takeouts,
That'll still be 2.
that'll still be 2. And that's what you want.
Yeah, very nice shot.
Yep.
Keeping the scoring zone nice and wide open. Just biting the 8-foot.
So Allen's kind of taking a look. He's seeing if there's like a possibility for a crosshouse double.
That would be a tough shot.
You would and he's going to call for a freeze.
That's not a bad move.
It's not.
Quick update on sheet A. It looks like Nick Smith was able to take one in the 4th. Now up 8-1 on Andy Inglis.
All right.
Feels heavy. I think it's heavy.
So here is Dan's second shot.
Yeah, Allen has a feeling it's heavy,
Is
and
it?
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, it's kind of in curling limbo right there. Where it's actually it's not.
Oh, no, that ended up really nicely.
A little bit, a little under curl. You can pop it out.
Yes, but I mean, if you ask for a corner freeze and you get a corner freeze, you're not going to be that mad.
I know. No, you make Cell like you make him take a look at it. There's a lot of possibilities where both go or one or what have
Oh,
you.
yeah, especially coming from this side.
Now he's calling for control weight. Throwing it right there in the center.
It's moving already.
It is. Yeah, it looked like Cell kind of flicked it outside a little bit.
Yep.
He did what I do in those kind of takeouts. I can feel empathy for him, and he is really. JR, Mark are able to pop
Real
out the
nice
yellow.
job. Really
That'll
nice
work.
job holding that.
That'll work.
I don't know how I hold it. Yeah, sweeper wide.
It really shows, like we were talking about earlier, with these new stones, I feel like directional curling is really in vogue here.
It is.
You're seeing a lot more of it, even in our like semi-competitive leagues, and it really has an effect on these rocks.
I think it is. They've been able to hold it. I mean, you know, Mark and JR are good sweepers, so like for sure. In one of our leagues, I'm skipping a team with Ben Keene, and you want to watch someone brush.
Oh my goodness, yes, Ben Keene, probably the strongest sweeper in the club.
It is. It's like having a grizzly bear.
Yes, yes.
Like I kid you not. There are ones where all of a sudden it'll be out of the hand, and I want it to be a draw. It'll be it'll come out of the whoever's hands, and they'll be like, oh, it's like a 2, maybe a guard, and I go, all right, brush, Ben. Just next thing you know, it's in the tee line. Like it's kind of like that. All right, so Alan again is gonna go. Well, I didn't quite see where he's going.
They setting up just outside the 4 foot.
Can't see any of it, right? No. I still think you can get there pretty easy. Okay, you want a little bit less? Yeah. So like bumper.
Looks like he's going to be going after that one on the outside.
Yeah, it does look that way. Nope, we're wrong. He's heavy and he's a little narrow, and it looks like he's going for the that freeze again. Really needs that to cut.
Yeah, it has been moving a lot towards the end, but I don't think it's going to move nearly as much as it needs it to.
And that's about backline weight.
Yep, that's going to be a little too far.
But it will hit on that.
Ah. I told you. Those backbiters
They
always
are.
seem to come into play.
They do. Yes. And again, like, especially at this level of curling, like having hammer and having those, you split the house. It's nightmare.
Oh yeah, you're forcing skips, you know, let's be real, amateur skips, to start thinking about serious strategy, and they have to know the shots that their team can make.
Yeah. Now the freeze, while a proper play at this level, like there's very little margin of error on that.
Yes.
And if you do what Allen does, now all of a sudden you're opening it up to maybe 3 or more.
Yeah, it looks like Dobbs is going to be playing a draw behind that that stone on the left.
Solid play.
Yes. Probably looking for.
He
I'd
might,
say
freeze on his own too.
he might freeze, and I don't think he's going to be mad at that.
Nope.
I would play back 8, back 12 here, but Dobbs is also a much more experienced skip than I am.
Yeah, the line's perfect all the way.
It's looking pretty good.
It is looking pretty good, yeah. They've been on this the entire time. And it looks like instead it's going to be a guard.
Yeah, it's a little short. So now you get Allen that. All right, so now Allen gets that second crack at a draw. So if Allen's able to make this and get that freeze, he now does have that shot partially covered. So.
Yes, it would be really, really tough to chip that yellow out and get 3. Because that's really the play here. There's not much that Allen can do to prevent a non-multiple end aside from this freeze.
Aside from the freeze.
Even so, it's an incredibly tough shot.
It is.
shots away.
He's not all that happy with it. He's kind of watching. The weight
I
looks
think,
okay,
I think it
but
was
it's
a
just not
little
head-up
more
right.
narrow than he wanted, but that might actually
Wow.
work for him.
No, it's wide. It is going.
Oh, no.
Oh, there it gets a little funkier of a break. And that is going to be like his other shot pretty much.
It is not going to stick around. In fact, finally knocks that backbiter out. So now, this is Hammer, yes?
It is.
Yep. Dobbs coming back. He is basically just has to touch paint for 3.
That is correct.
One of the best spots you can be in skip. Touch paint for multiple points.
With a wide open house.
So when you're in this situation, are you usually throwing like top 12 weight, and then if you're a little light, they can sweep in. If you're a little heavy, you've got plenty of room for error?
You always want to err on the side of lighter in this kind because you have sweepers that'll help it. If you err heavy, what do you know, your sweepers can't like stop it.
Right.
But this looks really solid. That's
Oh, yes.
3. Good shot for Dobbs.
No doubt it's 3. It's just in front of the button. Very nice shot by Dobbs. 3 points for Red.
So they are now up 6-3. Meanwhile, over on sheet D, in the 4th end, it looks like Dauerheim's team took 1
Took
point. So they are now up 3-2, I believe.
Additionally, it looks like another steal on sheet C. Team Johnson taking 3 in the 4th end. Now leading 7-0. Really opening it up there.
Looks like Travis is trying to hope for a miracle. He's got a pretty decent house set up, depending on.
Yeah, if they're able to push out at least one of those racks.
He's drawing for it. And I don't know. He's not happy, so it doesn't look like that was successful. Meanwhile, JR again is just throwing another center guard.
Oh, yes.
And that's the other thing to keep in mind, especially the way JR has been throwing, is that when you have the, I don't know if you actually want it to be a guard, you probably want it at the end. If you know, especially with your lead, and you're like, I'm going to put the broom here, and you're going to do at least a serviceable center guard every time, like, that is a huge advantage.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And
That's what I was just telling these guys.
And I've kind of come on board with the idea that the lead actually, to me, is more important at times than your second. Because if your lead does not give you 2 good stones to start and end,
You really feel behind the 8 ball.
right, you're just now your second's going to have to do like some crazy miracle shots. But if you have a pretty solid lead,
It looks like it's going to be just ticking that center guard,
yep,
splitting the onto the center line. It looks like it's just going to get the
get a yellow bite.
the lucky roll onto the rings.
And a little unlucky. It is now a biter, so we're going to go pop that out. At least
Yeah.
JR is going to do that.
Looking to take advantage of the free guard rule, but thanks to that roll,
All right.
JR looking to push that.
Took it a little bit,
Out
but it
of the
looks
way.
like it's all right.
Yeah, they're doing a good job holding on to it, and they have no problem with that.
Nope.
And it looks like it's sitting in front as well. Still a guard.
Now the danger here, of course, is that is just simply for Dobbs that now you're starting to set up with some guards out in front, which though they're not the right color for Allen, you're not really keeping that house nice and clean
Right,
with that,
yes.
with that kind of lead. So now you're giving Allen like things to hide behind, and you're making it a little more difficult.
Yep, and he's calling for the draw. He's looking to get to the house first.
Yep.
Relatively speaking, not counting the last shot.
I'm telling you, at this level of curling, controlling the forefoot is everything.
Starting to move already. They're going to have to get on this.
Yep, it looks like the line's okay. But it is going to be a little.
Oh, no, that dove real
Yeah,
hard,
that
and that's going to push that red in. It's in the house and covering the center line. That took a nosedive.
It did. A little more weight from Mike. That might have been all right, but it's not really where Allen wanted it. Now you're Now if you're Dobbs, you're actually not too bad.
No, no.
You're feeling okay. If you can pop out some hit some marks.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty nice hit.
It does look pretty good.
It's moving, and it looks like it's going to catch the inside, so it's going to roll behind. But it's going to roll a little bit too far, I think. And yes, it's out of play.
Yeah, so Allen is kind of like back where he was a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's Gordy's run.
Again, if you're just joining us, this is the finals of the Potomac Curling Club Embassy Row Bonspiel, the South Korea Rock Spiel. My name is Steve Kollenbaugh. Joining me alongside is Adam Schechter. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure to be here, especially on a Sunday curling.
Oh, yes.
Sunday curling is what you live for.
Yep. We were watching Team McNeil skip by Alan McNeil with the Yellowstones, currently down 6-3, or 6-2, excuse me, to Team Dobbs, skipped by Michael Dobbs, using the Red Rocks. A very nice draw there, though, getting to the 4 foot.
It's peaking, so
There's a little bit of daylight there, so going to see if Mark is able to chip that out. I mean, crashing on the guard isn't the end of the world either.
it's not. So that looks a little
Looks
wide.
wide, yeah. It's gonna have to move.
It's not.
It's starting to move, but no, it's not going to have enough, I don't
No.
think. No. Even so, with a 4-point lead, Dobbs isn't, terribly scared.
So if Gordy is able to hit this sort of biting 12, then things start getting a little interesting.
Yes. And he's proven he can do it. He just did it 10 seconds ago.
Because the pro side miss here is to freeze on your own. That's not terrible.
He seems a bit wider.
Yeah, it does look wide. It is hanging out there.
Oh, yes.
I would.
It looks light, too.
It does. Yeah.
It looks like he's going to get a guard instead, trying to guard up that draw line.
Yeah, it's going to sit right there near that mixed doubles corner guard power play marker we now have in the ice. So if you're looking for a perfect corner guard, it's kind of where it is. But actually it's not, again, too terrible. But
It looks now like Dobbs wants to put a little more heat on this.
yeah, he's asking for control. I think he's looking to actually pop this. He's looking to run back.
Oh, yeah, he's looking for a run back.
Which again, solid play.
Yeah. Needs to hit it either nose or just on the inside of nose, I'd say.
And that
Looks okay for now.
It's coming in pretty nice, actually.
Oh, it's moving quite a bit, though. Mark's going to have to hold it.
Yeah. Overcurled a little bit.
And no, instead it's just going to be peeling out his own, and that shooter is gone as well.
So if you're Allen, you're probably thinking that
I'd want to put that back.
I'd want to put it there.
Just in the top 12?
Yeah. Again, they don't have anything else, or Dobbs at the moment doesn't have anything else scoring, so
That's true, yeah. Might
puts
as
you
well.
sitting 2 at least. At this point, getting 2 is going to be somewhat helpful, but not quite.
This game, if McNeil's going to have a real shot at this, is going to come when Dobbs has the hammer. He's going to need to steal.
He will, and so this is one of those things where you're going to have to try and be a little more aggressive here. So here is Dan's first.
The line looks okay. It doesn't look like it's going to bite, though. No, it's just going to be a guard. And a guard's not terrible, but like we said, Allen's going to need to start being a little more aggressive, and it actually overcurled a little bit. So there's going to be there's a line there right down the center line.
And this is something that Sell can hit all day.
Oh, yes.
And what's worse, at least for Allen, is that Sell is in a really good position to hit it and roll it behind cover somewhere.
Yes.
even if it's on the.
Even if it's behind the yellows.
Looks like with the broom, he's trying to air it.
Look like a bit wide there.
No, but it is.
Oh, but it is
hooking
moving,
and
yeah. It's around the yellows. It's
This is very nice, actually.
very nice.
All right,
Like
solid
you said,
hit.
Michael Sell can hit that all day.
Yeah.
That shot is wide open, though, and
So now Allen's going to try and hit it and roll it behind his own cover.
Yes.
This is a good play.
pretty much follow that straight down.
Yep.
As we said, Dan Kennedy, also well known for his hitting. Line looks okay, but it's gonna have to move.
I think Allen Call
no,
off
that
is-
is just not.
is not getting off center at all.
No, it didn't. It was a little bit too much heat there. It just wouldn't move.
A little heat, a little bowing out to the side.
And you could see a little bit belated. Allen was trying to get them to chip off that red guard.
So you're kind of at the point where Dobbs can throw one right on the center line, a little center line guard. And
Gonna protect that one.
Yep. And if and when Michael is successful with this shot, it's going to make life a little difficult for him. He doesn't really have a lot. He's got a few guards sitting up front, so I guess there are some tap possibilities. But getting at shot rock is going to be difficult.
Oh yes.
So here's Dobbs' first. It looks like it's going to be in, actually.
Yeah,
It's
Dobbs
got
saying
some
a
heat.
little bit more weight than he was hoping for. Looks like this is just getting around the red guard,
This,
and it's going to push.
this,
It's a corner freeze, looks like.
this
Sitting right in front of the button.
is a double weight and a half. Right?
Oh, yes.
Maybe not.
Well, the problem is, you know, sure you double it, and then you've got one shot for a draw for one. Not the hammer that that Allen was looking for. He may even look to blank this afterwards, depending on how Dobbs uses his last shot.
Not a terrible idea. Or he could stick one there. That's actually not.
Sticking one right in front there, and then use it as kind of a chisel.
Yeah, kind of like use that as a way to pop out the other reds in his second shot.
That's not a bad idea, really.
No.
Depending on how Dobbs throws his last shot. If it's basically anything other than sitting on the yellow that Allen throws. What do we got there? Is that Pajon? The Korean pancake?
Oh, yeah. I'm not really a veggie guy, but these are great.
Oh, yeah. Big thanks once
Yeah.
again to Spencer Stevens and all of our volunteers. I've heard nothing but raves about the kitchen, so well done, everyone.
Big shout out to Heidi Rose, who helped just step in and you know, I guess she's got J.R. Curlin out there and
Yep.
lending a hand in the kitchen. So.
Heidi also responsible for the food last year during the Steinspiel, which was, oh my goodness.
TheBomb.com. All right, so it looks like Allen has settled on some sort of hit. The way it's set up, it looks like what he's trying to do is be an upweight takeout and hit it maybe just to the left of nose as you're looking at it on the house cams. So there is a double there.
Yeah, there's definitely a double.
Now, can he roll it like where the shooter's going to go is really the question.
Yeah, depending on how hard he hits this, we'll see if he's able to stick that shooter around.
Oh, that is chunked.
Oh yeah.
That is chunked narrow. That looks like it's on that guard.
Oh, I mean, it's moving though.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
wow. Very nice shot. Gets one.
Gets
Does
one
not get
out of
two.
it. No.
Looks like it's close. From the overhead angle, I'd say red is still shot, but it's a tough call.
No, it's a really good shot for Allen, actually.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It definitely gives Allen a ton of options depending on what Dobbs does. And it looks like Dobbs immediately calling for, looks like a draw.
Yep.
Trying to fill up that fill up that forefoot again.
A draw, guard, any of those, trying to block the middle is a good idea. Shot is away.
JR getting on it quickly.
Weight doesn't matter. Weight doesn't matter. Gotta get back to center. Push back to center.
You can hear Sell saying the weight doesn't matter. They care far more about the line here.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gliding back to mostly where Dobbs would want it.
Yep, just off the center line. And
It's a little window here.
there is a little window, but it's a little window.
It's about, I would say about a stone and a half of window.
Yeah, Allen's looking at the run backs here.
Yeah, there's not really.
That's a tough shot.
There's a lot of tough shots.
Because there's a lot of room for error here. If you hit the run back, you accidentally push yours out, you might be giving up a steal, and basically Dobbs has done exactly what he needs to do. He is forcing Allen to make what is essentially a circus shot to get multiple points. Anytime you can make your opponent go for a circus shot with the hammer, it's a good end. And if he makes it, great.
Yep.
Now, what do you think? If Allen has trouble with this one, do you think he shakes at 7-2 or 8-2?
It's tough. You're talking about the A event final.
That's true. Still with 2 ends to go.
It is. You got 2 ends. Stealing a lot of points against Dobbs is very difficult.
Yes.
It's very difficult because usually Michael's very good at knowing when to bail on an end and then sort of mitigate too much damage. But let's see what Allen does right here. Sweeping it.
Sweeping it quickly. It looks like they're going to be. Oh, it's close. It's real close.
It's
They are
close.
through everything.
They're through the port. And
Oh, they
looks
chipped
like
theirs out. It's going to be 1 red. Or no, I'm sorry. That wasn't hammer, was it?
That was hammer.
Oh, it was hammer, yeah.
It was 1 red. So,
Allen looking for Lorne, but he doesn't look like he's shaking.
well, he might just give it.
So it's 7-2 now after 6. It will be a tough road to hoe for Allen, but he does have the hammer again.
He does.
Even so, just getting through that port was really impressive. Let's see, a few updates over on sheet A. Andy Inglis was able to take 1 in the 5th, now down 8-2 against Nick Smith. Additionally, who is Johnson playing? Oh, it's Hamilton. Hamilton from Virginia was able to take 2 in the 5th, now down 7-2
He is
against Johnson.
There's a lot of
There's
yellow
a-
rocks.
yeah,
There's
there's a lot of
rocks,
yellow.
That's too. There's a lot of yellow in that house.
And then on sheet D, it looks like is that a steal of 1 in the 5th?
Yes, it looks like it is.
So that was Dauernheim playing the yellow, yes?
Yep, 4-2. 4-2, Darren Himes.
We gotta play for a bunch. That takes guard.
You're right, Baiko. There has been a lot of upweight shots. The ice is still pretty fresh. This is the first draw of the day.
Crush skate. Scraped this morning, so big shout out to the ice crew.
Let's see, JR's first shot going right into the top 4.
It was box.
Yeah.
So Mike is trying to throw a guard here, and it looks like it's going to be a center guard.
Let's try the kick. Back halfway.
sheet A, it looks like things are gonna get wacky again for Nick Smith. He's already got three in the house plus a guard,
Yeah, they've really been.
just pounding the house.
They have. And obviously our attention has been mostly on the A event final, but every time I seem to just move my eyes and take a look over there just seems to be a ton of rocks in play over in that D event final game, the quote-unquote third place or bronze medal game.
Yes.
Weird thing about Bonspiels, for anyone that doesn't know, typically the D event is like the third place game. It's two teams that only lost in the semis playing each other. So while
This looks like it's just a chip out.
yes, except
Well, it's sticking around.
it's sticking around.
So that's a really nice shot.
Good little chip
Not a
out.
violation of the free guard rule.
That is correct.
And in fact, making that formerly center guard fairly useless.
Oh yeah. Yep. Everyone loves to draw to the side of the 12 with cover.
I mean, hey, sometimes that's the perfect shot. Not often. Sometimes. Mike with his second shot now. Looks darn near a carbon copy of the first.
It does, but this case it sets up
A
as
little
a
bit
nice corner
outside,
guard.
yeah.
Oh, this is fine. It's fine for a corner guard. But now we can start whacking them out.
Oh, yes.
There's Mark Carlson. Throwing about control weight.
Okay, we're gonna play the cross face. We're close to jamming. Okay, we're
The
fine.
weight looks all right. The line looks all right.
Looks about
And exactly what they're looking for.
They
Just
are.
keeping that sheet clean.
They are, and also
Also giving a little bit of cover to its shot rock.
not much.
I mean, not much. It's still wide open, but it basically takes away one of the avenues, forcing Gordon to come from the other side.
He is, and he'll probably try and throw. Looks like a hack weight takeout was the call. Try and roll behind.
Oh, he's narrow. It's one of the nice things about playing with or against Allen. You know immediately when a shot has not gone right.
I have heard that plenty of times when he was my skill.
Oh, yes.
And I throwing. There have been plenty of times Allen started yelling yes, yes, yes before I even let it go.
I don't mind the flash.
Several times.
Normal.
Even so, a nice take out of the guard there.
JR.
All right, so now
They are
take out
looking
one.
to- Yep, looking to keep this online. And just chip it out to the outside away from the shot rock.
Looking good.
Yes, very nice shot.
Looks like Travis stole another two.
Few, yeah.
I think it was about two. They're down 7-4 going into the seventh end.
Very nice. Definitely needed.
Let's see. Looks like it's a.
Yeah, sheet D is looking pretty clean so far. I think they're just playing a hit game in the sixth end.
It looks that way. Looks like with 2 rocks left, so Darren Himes about to throw his first skip rock over on D, and it looks like it's going to be a chip out of some sort. There's one Kempinich rock right there near the button.
Very nice shot here.
Yeah.
Not quite shot rock, but
Again, trying to play that freeze up so that they can get to it later.
yes. Meantime, over on sheet A, Andy Inglis, his sweeper is working very hard, and it looks like they have gotten themselves in position to try to steal one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he does not have the hammer.
That is, hence he's stealing. So looks like Nick is evaluating some sort of move to try and chip out that red or draw to it to try and score.
In the meantime, on our featured sheet, a nice takeout there. Allen looking to freeze now instead of a hit.
Well, you're really at the point where you're just trying to
get points.
Well, what you're trying to do is to keep rocks in play and then make them difficult to remove. So a freeze would be difficult for Dobbs to remove.
Sweepers on this one quickly. They want to make sure that it doesn't disappear once it crosses the center line.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to, though. It's really hooking hard.
They probably should have held on to that, but it's tough
I don't think
managing both the weight and the line.
There is. Now, the other thing Allen, I think, was trying to do, which actually looks like he mostly did, was to try and bring that really far red guard into play.
Go figure.
And see, told you. Everyone loves to draw to the side of the 12. I find as a skip, that's actually one of the most difficult shots to actually call. Like, what is the proper angle on that?
Yes. Because a lot of times, running away from the center line, you have to be careful or the stones will just take off and disappear.
All right, so Sal lets his first go, and it looks kind of wide, but it is making that move towards it, and we'll touch it.
Just chipping it out. Very nice. And yes, that Yellowstone is out of play.
That's a very nice shot from Sal.
Didn't need to hit it with a ton, but they hit it with just enough.
Just enough to get it out. All right, Allen again asking Dan. He's kind of running low on rocks. This is Dan's second shot.
There's only 3 rocks left for yellow in this send.
Yeah, you're really just trying to play to get that freeze.
Touch wide. Just wait, but nice go. I think maybe. Is it here? Is it more than here or is it here?
Is it here or is it more than here? It looks
more than here.
Yeah. Let's go back on.
And it's just going to push it back. Allen not even bothering to try to sweep that out. I think he'd rather have that in play.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of back.
Well, yeah, because you're right now what you're doing is you're trying to give Dobbs something to jam on or something. Like at this point in time, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, coming from this side, Dobbs doesn't miss this much. Which is refreshing if you're on his team, and darn near infuriating if you're not. It looks a bit narrow, though.
It does look narrow.
JR on this pretty hard, trying to hold that line.
He might not. Now he's telling him to whoa.
No, he needs to keep going. And yes, very nice shot.
Except,
oh, but he jams.
Got the jam. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yep, it looks like, excuse me, that redstone is shot, but it is completely exposed. A nice open hit for Allen.
I don't think he's hitting, though.
No?
Maybe he is.
He is. That's a, well, if he's coming from the inside out, it is going to move on him, so maybe he's trying to play for that. Over on sheet A in the 6th end, Andy Inglis was able to take one, and he's now down 8-3. Another steal, so still in it.
Gotta keep yourself in there.
Oh yeah.
8-3 with 2 ends to play is 8-3.
Tough, but I've given that up before, so anything can happen.
As have I. Curling is a wacky game.
It really is.
Sometimes you're just on the money, and then sometimes you're able to successfully pull defeat from the jaws of victory.
So we can see Allen explaining at least 4 different plans for his team. Setting up now. Looks like he's got some power behind this.
That's. Oh wow, that is really.
Oh, that's moving hard.
If he was really trying for the freeze, I was surprised.
That is not a freeze. That is a hit.
It's a hit.
And that is a flash, I think. Yep. That's a tough break for Allen.
It's not what you want.
Yeah. It looked like when he pushed out with it, he pushed it just a little wide, and that really hurt him. So now Dobbs has kind of a gold moment here. A takeout of that yellow forces Allen to draw for one or hit for one, pretty much whichever he prefers. But either way, it's still, at best, one yellow. The line looks pretty good from here.
Looks like it'll nose it.
Oh,
A
yep.
little off nose.
Just off nose. That's going to be fine. Just fine.
Will be.
Red now sitting too.
And I think that's it.
That's it. They are calling the game.
Allen had a very, very fantastic spiel this whole weekend, and
conceding graciously.
He is, and should certainly be commended for the way his team played, making it all the way to the A event finals. I know this isn't really the way that he would have drawn it up, but I think
he's got to be happy with the way his team played.
He's very happy with this result and with the way that his team played and to get this far. His team played really well. Michael Dobbs, if you don't know, takes a picture of every scoreboard from his games. There's some debate as to whether Pizza League counts or not. Keeps a little spreadsheet for his scores, but definitely a good scoreboard for the memory book, winning the A event here at the Embassy Row, South Korea Rock Spiel.
Right.
So they are your A event champions. And just like champions, Michael is sweeping the hat. All right,
Yep.
so
let's see, where should we head? I think we should head to D. I think that's our closest
D
game.
is definitely the most competitive at the moment. It certainly looks like the other games are.
Oh, wait. Oops. Hang on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to move over to sheet D. There we go. Let's see. Once again, that's Team Kempenich, skipped by Gilad Kempenich with his father Enrique in Vice, going up against Team Dauernheim with Brian Dauernheim as the skip.
Yep. And Dauernheim's team, as far as I know, is a team that's going to club playdowns.
Yeah, that's a real solid team with Melvin Shaw, Adam Kapp, and looks like Nick Datlow as well.
And so there's actually, I've been hearing that, in terms of the way that this team's going to be made up for playdowns, is kind of up in the air about who's going to play what position. But there's a lot of skill on that team, so
yes,
really, it's going to come down to preference. It's going to come down to who's more comfortable at what. But you probably, out of our club, might not ask for a better playdowns team.
Yeah,
for sure.
Not only that, but not only with skill, but with temperament as well.
Oh yeah.
These are four players that know the game, that know each other, and that trust each other.
All right, so let's set this back up. They blanked the sixth, so I believe Dauernheim's still up 4-2. Looks that way.
Yes.
Well, some interesting going on sheet C as well.
Yeah, there's quite a number of rocks in the house. I can't get a good look right now. It looks like yellow is actually only sitting one.
It's right there, too.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Big fan of our new monitors here.
Yes.
They're really nice.
Here at the club, we now have 6 big flat screens. And one of them is displaying the draw, and then other ones, of course, are displaying the house cameras. So they all have Chromecast capability as well, and so we've been throwing up all sorts of stuff there. All right, so it looks like Gilad is trying to. It looks like he's
Yeah, it doesn't look like they'd be able to chip out those yellows, and really there's no point.
He's got 2 guards in front. No, I think a draw
Yeah,
is what he's
giving them
what
plenty
he's
of
asking
room.
Enrique to do.
That's definitely a draw. And you want to talk about trust and knowing your teammates. I mean, this is Gilad's dad.
Oh, yeah. Except he's a little wide, it looks like, and heavy. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. We'll see if that sticks around. Brian already moving up to push that out, and he's going to give it a little bit of love, but not much.
A little bit of courtesy sweep right there.
Open it up, that's fine.
So it looks like Melvin is going to try to do that same sort of draw.
Looks like he's coming out with less weight, certainly. Adam jumping on this quickly, and Nick Datlow coming in as well.
Brian really likes the line of this.
Yep, it's definitely around the guards. It's gonna. Let's see if it gets around that top red rock, and it will. Yes.
Tad of a rub.
Yeah, they can't quite bring it into shot rock, but that's a great spoiler rock.
And again, if you're Downheim and with that team, if you're just setting it up for Gilad just to get one in the 7th, and you're going to come home with hammer, you will
Oh yeah,
up one. You will take that all day.
absolutely.
And I think that's exactly what he's setting up to do. Just junk up the front. Because right now it looks like Melvin's rock's a bit exposed. So it looks like he's going to kind of take a run at it with roughly control weight for Enrique. This is what it looks like.
And meanwhile, over on sheet A, it looks like red is currently sitting 1. There's only 1 stone in the house, and they are heading up towards Skip's rocks now.
Meanwhile, Enrique had a very nice shot right there to just poke out the rock Melvin just threw.
Really nice, yeah.
You want to really
sitting out
thread the
to
needle
top
on
tw-
that
or
one.
just sitting out to the side 12 there.
Yep.
So now, do you think they'll try to throw the same rock there?
I would. I mean, you've got the 4-foot open. You might as well go for it.
Yep. Maybe put a little bit more on it. Try to get to the button if you can.
Sure. In this situation, I don't even know if that's really the plan. You're up 2. If you steal 1, you're up 3 without hammer, which is also a good situation to be. There's
Certainly, yeah.
a lot of positives here for Down. Make the shot. I think the key for him is to keep this in play and keep it and keep giving Gilad something to think about.
Gilad with experience that really belies his youth.
Very true. Him and his brother Gabe been curling for a long time. They've both been representing Team Israel.
And in fact, they'll be heading out
competitions.
fairly soon, if I'm not mistaken, for the European Championships. So
It's very impressive.
yeah,
It's very cool to have international curlers like here at our club.
yes. So
Meanwhile, we've been
Congrats.
just talking over Brian Downham's gorgeous draw.
Brilliant.
Back butt. That is
taking over shot rock, and it's going to be a devil of a time trying to chip that out. I mean,
you are well.
I'm going to say it's there. It's not there a whole lot, and it looks like instead they'd rather sit in front of it.
Well, it depends on where.
I think you'd have to chip it out from the left side if you're coming from the worm room, and just hit it really thin to try to avoid that jam.
I think that's There's
That might be the plan,
it could be the plan.
because if it ends up jamming, it's just going to hit all that backing.
There is a lot of backing. Now you're right. You can thin it. You can certainly thin off the left. and given like that kind of drag effect off the rocks,
Yeah.
it would send that his red that's in the back, it would
Probably back off those yellows.
back off the yellows, but probably would actually send it off the back left yellow as you're looking at the house.
Yes, you're right.
So that's not exactly where you want it to be. You really want your rock to sort of jam on the yellow that's at the 8-foot, and I'm not really sure that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It looks like they're brooming it for a pretty upweight, aggressive takeout. So.
And you can't run back that shot in the top 8 either. You can't quite see on our overhead cam, but there is a solid center guard for yellow.
All right, so let's see what Gilad chooses to do.
As we talked about, Gilad representing Team Israel, but actually wearing a Swedish jersey.
Well, it comes from the tradition of when you are playing international teams, you're at these competitions, and they exchange jerseys after they play each other. So him and his brother do have a
Sizable
collection.
collection, yeah.
So here's his first, and he's asking, oh, it's narrow, he says.
Yeah, let's see if they can get around that yellow.
I don't think so.
No chance.
All right, well, he's going
That's
to take
one.
the guard out of play.
Yep. I mean, it's a useful shot, but unfortunately you only have one more shot. So the question is, I think Brian's going to just look to put that guard right back.
Yeah, that's something from.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah, anything from that top 12 to just like a 3-guard-ish would be perfect. Plus, if that's your called shot and you err, where are you going to go? You're going to go right to the button, and you're...
Yeah, if you're heavy, it's not bad.
No.
If you're light, it's really not bad.
So.
I mean, like a 1 or 2 guard, not the best, but it still makes Gilad work.
It is. All right, so here is Don. Last shot.
Yeah, Brian not coming out with a ton of weight, and the sweeper's on this quickly. Really caring far more about the line than the weight.
Yeah, I think he
And
stopped.
I think they've got the weight they need,
Yeah, it looks like it's
but it's
breaking
over
a
curling,
little.
yeah.
Working too hard.
Brian not happy with this one.
So Melvin is trying to like just will it to stop it. It looks like there's also handshakes over on sheet A. Looks like Nick Smith's team will in fact take the D event title over Andy Inglis. Give Andy a lot of credit. They did make a comeback after it really looked like that game could have gotten completely out of hand, and Andy made him work. So excellent job there. Over on sheet C.
That is a messy
That
house.
is certainly a messy house.
As far as I can tell, I think it's 1 yellow, but man, that's tough.
Johnson's got his hammer. Travis just sort of hanging out. That too, that give Travis and his squad credit for coming back.
Oh yes, that's definitely a competitive game now.
Yeah. It's nice when you have competitive finals. All right. So meanwhile, a lot of thought going over here on sheet D. A lot.
Trying to figure out if there is any way to get at that yellow stone. The run back once again out of play. Was this Johnson's hammer? I didn't see.
Johnson's hammer, it looks like he's trying for a straight takeout of that Yellowstone that is shot. And it looks like he's got it.
Oh no, jams on his own.
Yeah,
It looks like it's going to be at least 1 yellow. Might.
Ooh,
I can't tell. That is close.
That's pretty close.
There are. Well, they pushed that one out, and
I guess not close to them.
no. So if that's a steal for 1 for yellow, that's going to be a 2-point game going into the final end.
It is.
In the meantime, Gilad lining up for his hammer.
This looks like a draw right here. Get right to the button.
Yep.
And then aim to steal 2. Last rock.
Shot is away.
Oh, it looks pretty good.
Sweeper's not on it yet. It's going to be around the guards.
It has to come in.
Yeah, it's got to move quite a bit towards the end. Here it comes. It's looking pretty good. Are they able to chip it out? Not quite. It is going to be 1 red, though, I believe.
That is close. They are looking at it really, really carefully. And
ooh, I might be wrong here.
I think it's yellow. That's me.
Yeah,
I'm
the
leaning
more
to yellow.
the more I look at it, the more it looks yellow.
There is a lot of discussion over here. Both. Now, the entire team is going to go take a look. And are they going to? Oh, man. Everybody wants to take a look at it. Are they going to?
Let's see, they're at least pushing out all of the
They're pushing out
certainly
everything
non-scoring
else.
rocks.
And I guess they agreed.
And we'll let you know what that is. It
Yellow.
looks like it's yellow.
Yeah. All right, so with that said, that takes us through 7 ends.
It's what, 5-2?
It is 5-2. Meanwhile, whoa,
Oh dear,
over on sheet C, it is now
it's a tie game.
1 end for all.
Yep.
As Travis has come all the way back.
Very nice, stealing 3 in the last. Really, I mean, they've stolen 5 in the last 2 ends. Really impressive.
Dude, they've stolen 7 in the last 3 ends.
No, they got.
Oh, wait, you're
They
right.
got 2
you're
in the
right,
5th.
you're right. They got 2 in the 5th.
Yep.
They scored 2. You're right. Man.
And then stole 2, and then stole
I can
3.
read the scoreboard, right? Yeah.
So yes, in the 8th end, Hamilton from Virginia and Johnson from where's Johnson from? Sorry.
Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for coming out.
It's a split team. I think Katie McCartney's from CCVA and Mel, not 100% sure where she's from, but there's 2 from Columbus.
Wonderful. Thank you
They
guys for
were
coming out.
They were broom shooting last night. Only 2 broom shooters that I'm aware of. So that game is now all tied up.
Yep.
That is the B of it championship.
Yes. Red has the hammer. Usually a help, but the last 2 ends, not so much of a help.
Not so much.
A really nice draw there. Behind a fair bit of cover. It's going to take some work to get that out.
It is. But here's Sam.
Sam Sparks, one of the CCVA stalwarts.
He is. Looks like he's trying to like freeze down on
Yeah,
it.
freeze down or punch it just a little bit back, and it looks like he's done so.
He has.
Sitting just over the pin, it looks like.
But that's exposed. We are, by the way, covering sheet D at the moment.
Yes.
And right now, again, Gilad Competence, they need 3 points. I remember the score correctly.
Yes.
To tie.
3 to tie.
With the last end. And there's still some debate as to whether that red guard is in fact in play.
Yes, Melvin
And
Shaw getting as low as he can.
And now they're bringing Travis in as an impartial judge, if you will. And he took one look at Gilad, and he was just like, dude, really?
Come on.
Come on. And like, no, that's not over the hollow. So out of play it goes.
This looks like just a little bit of a pushback
It is.
over on sheet C. Ooh, that's close. I would say the yellow is probably sitting shot there.
Yellow is shot over that seat. Moment.
And now Travis calling for another draw, leading for the top of the house.
I guess we could flip to the C cameras. I
Yeah,
suppose.
let's go ahead and flip to C.
Okay.
We'll keep you up to date on what's going on in Sheet D as it happens.
I feel like this is NCAA tournament. And you're like, all right, that game is.
Yeah, we've
That
got
game we'll come back to if it starts to get interesting. But let's take you to one that is currently pretty close. And I would say one final end for your B event winner is really close. So.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice center guard there, kind of blocking up the center of the house.
It is, but Johnson, I think, is now able to use that to his advantage, especially with him.
Yes, he'll be able to draw right around that. Pretty much follow that line, just a little bit more oomph.
That is correct.
Meantime, over on Sheet D, we're seeing a lot of hits. Yellow currently sitting 1.
They're
and
playing the 8th end like you should,
Yes,
with a 3-point lead.
yes, keeping things clean, not messing about. Sweepers on this one quickly over on Sheet C, trying to make sure it's going to get around that center guard. It's getting close. I think it's. Oh, I think it's
on the
pushed a
guard.
little bit too much.
A little light, a little on the guard.
Yep.
All right, well, so Travis he's got some decisions. I would probably try and put another one in the house if I were him.
Yeah, I would try to take that draw away.
A guard is not bad. There's actually not a lot of.
A guard's not bad. I would want to put one. That's not a bad play.
I'll come at it from the other way.
Yeah, I would have put one top 8 on the right side. Try to take away the 4 foot. But this is not a bad play by any stretch of the imagination.
It's really on line, but now it is moving hard.
Oh, it is moving hard. Let's see. I think this
It's
might
light.
get onto the yellow guard.
It might,
Yep.
but actually,
Broom was perfect. Weight was good.
creating a
Yeah,
little bit of a
not a
little
lot.
more of a jumble. So now Johnson's going to try and draw back into that top red.
Yes.
This is where I think I understand what Travis was trying to do, because if he was a little bit heavy, he would just freeze it on his own. It's okay.
Right. Yes.
But
Unfortunately, being light there, it was kind of a no rock.
it was.
This coming
is
down
heavy.
looks heavy. Biting
Not
a little
good.
bit, but not biting enough. And it stayed outside. It didn't curl nearly as much as it needed to, and just went right through.
Yeah, I think you need to come this side. I think you're right. Yep.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. So Travis is going to call for the draw, coming from the other side.
Looking to bite the top 8 and make it no doubt about being shot rock. Wait a minute, I'm a new skip. I'm not supposed to know what to do.
Well, again, you got to kind of think about possibilities here. You know, at this point, more good can happen coming from that direction, going right to left in the house.
Yes.
Because if you're short, you're a guard, which is fine.
And that looks like it's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to
It's going to get a little bit of a rub on the red. That's actually not bad at all.
No, that's going to protect that draw. It's going to be a lot tougher to get to the 4 foot.
Now, of course, in case you don't know, you could still get at shot rock. That's kind of what's probably going through Johnson's mind at the moment is that
That
you
shot that Travis tried a rock ago.
yeah. So like that's totally there. The question though, especially given how much I haven't really watched the sheet as much, but it definitely looks like there's a lot of cut. If they're brooming it almost off the sheet at this point.
Yes.
So
There must be a ton of cut, and it looks like they want to sit just in front of that shot rock now. Don't have a ton of look right now.
well,
There
looks
we
like it's
go.
online and that's already moving.
Oh yes, they'll need to broom this a little bit.
All right, so now
Here
they're
it comes.
moving
Here it comes.
hard.
They got to get on this.
Looks about draw weight. Going to get past the first guard.
It'll be around the second as well, I
Oh,
believe.
this looks actually really good.
Oh yeah, this is hooking in nicely. It's going to get behind everything.
Very nice shot right there.
That's going to be tough for Travis to get to. I mean, he could just follow him down.
Good. That's probably what he's thinking.
Yeah. Actually, a little bit more on the outside. I didn't really think it was possible to broom that more outside, but here we are. And just try to chip that, I think, across the house.
Well, you got to think about what you're able to do. So with that much cut, there's really not really a great angle for anything heavy.
Yeah.
Like a heavy draw or something like that where you want to try and push it out.
Yeah, you saw that last rock just barely got past those yellow guards.
Right, so it just got past those yellow guards just off the 12-foot circle there. So if you're Travis, you're like, you can follow it down. And what would be good about following it down is that then you sort of give yourself a window. Even if you freeze on it and you're not shot, if Johnson doesn't quite block it up or do something else with his next shot, your rock's now a little bit more off the outside of that line.
Right, so you can chip something out.
You can then try and kind of chip
talked
off your own.
We talked before about using your own rock as a
Using your
chisel.
own. Yep. But this one looks
It was
like
a
it's
little
hooking
narrow.
immediately.
Yeah, they've got to jump on this quickly.
So
Sam going hard.
he is going hard. Travis
And now
is
Travis joining in.
Mixed double style.
Oh, yeah. They've got around one.
I think they got around the other one. It's just a question of where it's going to go. It looks like it's going to stay the outside, actually.
Yep. And it's actually going to go past and push that red a little bit out.
Yeah,
Now
it's-
giving backing to Johnson.
It is. And now he is
Gonna block that
emphatically
up.
trying to block that up,
Oh, yes.
which is the play.
No doubt.
And that,
Okay, so now let's look.
Yes.
If they're able to block this up, what's the play for Travis?
there is not a lot.
There are
good.
no promotes available. There's no run backs available.
You've got a very
Maybe a
narrow-
tick off whatever he plays and try to just slam into that shot rock.
so.
I don't like the play, but we're
Okay, so if Johnson's really able to sit that top 12 like he's looking, if that is completely broken up, you don't really have a lot. You've got like the slightest port off center that maybe fit a stone through. I don't like that at all. I don't think the angle is quite there.
looking at Travis's face. I'm not sure he likes any of his options.
There's really not a lot. No. Now, unfortunately, that guard that was helping him is no longer. All right, so here's Johnson's final stone here.
Definitely coming to the outside.
It is, and just like the other ones, it's moving over.
Yes. Looks like a good draw weight.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. You're really going to have to like where this is going to wind up. It's going to wind up
yeah.
exactly where he wants. Maybe a little deep, but not
You're not going to
bad.
get mad at a little deep here.
No, and you've really blocked off that angle. Very
yeah.
nice.
You think there's a double?
It's always a double. But
That's a fair point. I
Well-
think that might have to be the play.
so
Unless you're going to try to get through that port between the closest yellow to the house and the red that was just thrown. I don't think that's there.
Well, so you do know a few things about this line at the moment. You know that it is.
Dobbs is saying there's the port.
I
I
agree.
mean, it's there, but it looks like instead they're going to go for a hit.
Well, you just. It's there. But even
There aren't a lot of good options here. Let's be
there's
real.
not really a lot of good options here. There's all sorts of jammy jams and everything else. The only thing I think Travis has going for him is knowing that this is a really hooky line.
Yes.
And so even if he throws relatively up weight, I don't know how much weight he's going to give it, control, normal, something like that. Control
Yeah,
probably would
something
get the
along
job
those
done.
lines.
It still should move enough. Again, I don't know how exposed it is. It's hard to tell from our angle. All right,
Here
well,
he
here's
comes.
Travis' last shot.
He's got to get on this. He's got to get on this.
Here, sweeping it, sweeping it, sweeping it.
Road sweeper's on now. It's going to get one. Let's see. One.
And it
Oh, my
is.
goodness. What a shot.
Amazing takeout. That is
Yellow
shot,
now sitting 3.
that is shot of the day territory right there.
So now Johnson, what
Now-
does he do?
Now he's in a world of hurt,
Oh, yeah.
especially now that well, again, go back to what Dobbs
That
just
port's now closed up.
said. Well, but there is a port.
There's a port on the other side,
Other
though.
side.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, because what you have now you do. I don't really like that at all.
Holy guacamole is right.
I don't know if I've ever seen Travis throw that good of a shot ever in,
No,
in my
that's
time watching and hearing that
shot
call.
of the decade right there for Trey Hamilton.
So the to get that red to spill and miss both those yellows, that was an
That was smooth.
excellent shot.
It looks like they're interested in throwing the draw from the other side.
So now they're looking to draw from the other side. Now the only thing that you do have, what you might think you have actually is you don't have to go towards the button. You can try, because you really only need
full 8, yeah.
You need full 8. So you could go from center line out through that port.
Oh yeah, that
You
might
could-
actually be easier.
Like you could do that and get to full 8.
Although he's actually looking at the other side now. He's looking at the
on the
side
I don't
of
know
all
what
the
he's
jump-
got on the other side. He's got to hit and spill. Maybe that's what he's looking at, because that is
Yeah, because if he just spills on the inside, all
with
he
a-
needs is full
with
8.
bumper or hack. You can get it like a hack weight. You could probably nudge it like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are options. Speaking of, well, not speaking of options, but lack thereof, it looks like we're done on D.
It does appear that way.
Yep. Team Dauernheim taking down was that the D event or the C event finals?
That would be the C event.
The C event finals over Team Kempenich. Well done to everyone involved.
Well done, both teams.
And yeah, I think they're going to be playing that hit and spill, trying to get to the full 8. It's a heck of a shot if he pulls it off, but
Now look,
anything is possible.
anything is possible, and I will tell you as a skip, when you're kind of given in a situation when you just feel like there are no good options, this is where that mental game really comes into play, because once you settle on it, you're just going to be like, this is the best option I have, and I'm going to make this shot. Like, you're not going to sit there in that hack and say, question, should I do this? Should I? Like, once you decide, you got to decide.
Right. He can't be standing there now and thinking, oh, maybe I should go for that draw.
Exactly.
No, he's like,
you got to commit to it.
I've got this hit. It's showtime.
You commit to it. You think your broom is correct, and you make your shot. All right, well, here's Johnson's last shot. The last shot of Embassy Row is away, and it is a pretty good takeout.
Oh, yes.
Wait.
Looks like it'll be around certainly that yellow guard.
It is. It's got to curl
It's
a little bit, looks
curling,
like.
but it looks like it's moving.
It's now diving, but it looks like it's going to hit.
It's hitting, but is it
Nose?
spilling? No, it's nose. And instead clicks out the red.
It looks like Travis will steal 2 here in the 8th end. And
What
that's
a
all
comeback.
That's all bookkeeping.
Oh, yes.
An
Down,
amazing comeback from
down 7-2, or really down 7-0 after 4. Travis Hamilton, CCVA, comes back and takes down the B event finals. Well done.
That is a fantastic, fantastic game. A thrilling 8th end. Glad that we're able to bring this action to you. We hope you have enjoyed the finals here at Embassy Row, South Korea, and
Yeah, we certainly have enjoyed bringing it to you.
so I guess we should certainly sum up the results here. Your A event, your champions of the Bonspiel is Team Dobbs, and your runner-up is Team McNeil. So fantastic job by both of them. You just witnessed Travis Hamilton win the B event here at Embassy Row, and Team Johnson as the runner-up. Over on the C event, Team Dauernheim captured the victory over Team Kempenich, also a very well-played game. And over on Sheet A, your D event is Nick Smith prevailing over Andy Inglis in 7 ends, it looked like. So
yes,
a very nice way to wrap things up. So again, one final big shout out to all the volunteers.
Sugo SAO.
Yes. I don't know what that means, I'll be honest.
Which means you all did a great job.
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
So big ups to Spencer putting this all together. A few other champions out there. Melvin with the ice crew and the scrapes, along with the rest of the ice team. The bar team, Nick Smith. I know Courtney was helping supply a lot of things for us. Emily Altman with the beautiful bags. If you've not seen the gift bags that we hand out here at Potomac, they are things of beauty.
Top rate.
So if it's Cherry Blossom or if it's Embassy Row, Emily has been fantastic at those.
Yes.
And everybody else has kind of been helping out. Kevin White has, Kevin White was here almost, I gotta say, like he was here at least like 10, 12 hours yesterday.
Wow.
Maybe a little less than that, like maybe at least 8 hours. Closed up both Friday
fantastic.
and Saturday's night. So
Putting on a spiel is a lot of hard work.
A lot of work goes into this, and a lot of unsung heroes. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. Just and happy to have been here and been able to witness this great event. So again, keep your eyes to our website. I'm sure in the not too distant future we will certainly announce next year's theme for Embassy Row. There's already some plans underway. So if you haven't visited Potomac, if you haven't been here for one of our great events, definitely put it on your calendar. Obviously, Cherry Blossom registration will open up soon for another event coming up. That's really big.
And a reminder, if you are just interested in curling and haven't come out to Potomac yet, we do have Try Curling, our open house, coming up next weekend. I believe there are still spots available.
Still some slots available for Try Curling, and then in the spring there'll be Love Curling.
Ooh, very nice.
So if you don't, if you're not quite committed for next weekend, again, and of course Saturday morning breakfast if you want to give curling a try without having to make too much of a commitment to the club. But I gotta tell you, once you start,
you can't
just want to be here all the time. I know I feel that way quite a bit. All right, Steve, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure, Adam. Thank you so much.
All right, so that's it here from Embassy Row. We will see you on our next event live stream. Coming at you, what, Cherry Blossom or
Probably
Scott's maybe? I don't know what we're covering.
Maybe we'll do the short spiel probably.
Yes, short spiel is coming up too.
The Tim Shortens.
The Tim is that really the name of it?
It was the Shorties last year.
The
yeah,
Shorties, and
I'm
now it's
almost
going to
positive
be the
it's
Tim
the
Shortens. God, I love it.
Yes.
I totally need to find a partner this year for that. That needs to happen. All right, so the best way that you guys can actually know is to just subscribe for our live stream feed. So you will get notified the minute that we are back here on the air, live here from the National Capital Curling Center here in lovely Laurel, Maryland, home of course the Potomac Curling Club. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for being part of this
Thanks so much.
great broadcast.